Hello and welcome, my beautiful soul family, brothers and sisters. This is Rainbow Shift Podcast, and I am here, Simone Rosamond, along with Mark Muse, and we're here to just bring you a little bit of the LGBTQ with a little bit of trans focus and also anything else that flows in. Let's get started.
All right.
I'll introduce, I'll introduce myself first. I am Simone Rosamond. I am a trans woman. I'm originally from Barbados and lived in New York for a while. Then decided to move down to Ohio, the quiet little suburbs of Ohio. Very country. Love it. Got settled down, started a business and stuff like that, and decided to co-partner with Mark. And now we're here creating this beautiful podcast to just bring a little bit insight on trans and gender expansive issues, and also just go over what's going on with the month. Like this month is Halloween. I love Halloween. But yes, we're basically going to be doing that each month. We're going to be bringing a little bit of insight on things that's going to be going on in the LGBTQ community, and just a little bit of what's going on throughout the month. So that is what's going on with me and what we're going to be bringing. And then, Mark, I'll let you take the floor.
Awesome. Thanks, Simone. Just so excited to get this started. My name is Mark Muse. I am a licensed therapist and coach. I have a private practice where I focus on treating trauma and really specifically with the LGBT plus community. And a lot of gender affirming care. Absolutely love working with trans clients. I am a cisgendered male, gay male, and I live in the not always so friendly state of Florida, but am a Florida native and have moved around quite a bit, but I'm now back. So just very excited to get to share some more stuff, and yeah, just excited to be here. All right. So Simone, tell me, what's one good thing that you have going on right now before we jump into some other topics?
For me, I think I'm just really happy with everything is going smooth. Like, how you had some of those months where you're just like, this business don't get together. Okay. But then I'm like, okay, this month is going, it's going. I'm going with the flow. As a spiritual, practitioner and also a Reiki practitioner, I just try my best to go with the flow, because if I don't, I'll be here I gotta figure this out. But yes, so far it's really going well for me, and I'm really happy because I have a great team like you, Mark, and some of my friends, and start a new journey and adventure, and I'm really excited for this new journey and adventure. And I'm just pretty much also going to be working on some more Reiki stuff to become a Reiki master. So I'm very excited for that.
That's very exciting. Yeah.
And on top of that, I'm just really excited to rewatch all of my Halloween movies. And I do this, it's like a ritual for me each year. I literally have to rewatch all of my favorite Halloween movies when October starts. Lying, no. It's like the middle of September for me. When it hits the middle of September, that's when I'm like, bet. Let's start watching Harry Potter. Let's start watching Halloween Town. Let's start watching all the movies you can think of from childhood. And I'm just I love it. I'm just yes, let's do it. Last night, me and my cousin, we were watching The Craft Legacy, and I was just I just love this. Love it. I just love the aura, the ambiance of the happiness. So that's the positive week this week so far. Just jumping Halloween spirit. Sorry, Mark.
No worries. Do you have an absolute favorite Halloween movie?
I'm a Harry Potter child at heart. So besides Harry Potter, I think for me, Prisoner Azkaban was one of my favorite ones. Um, the other one I can say I really, really liked. It's it's challenging for me because I'm in between like Hocus Pocus and like everybody says Practical Magic. Like Practical Magic was a cute and very adorable movie for me. I really like that one, but also this Beetlejuice, but you know, yeah, I think for me, the one that hit the most for me was watching like Craft and Legacy last night, and I was just like, this is so it, so
Hmm.
so far that's my favorite. But when I
Okay.
start rewatching it, I'll be like, oh, I might have to change that up a little bit. But which one is yours?
From a strictly Halloween movie standpoint, probably Hocus Pocus. I have memories. I'm a little older than you. I have memories of actually seeing that at a drive-in theater in Louisville, Kentucky.
Oh,
Yeah, which is like a totally unique experience that I'm not even sure anybody really gets anymore. But there was a stint there where a friend of mine and I went to the drive-in almost every weekend. And so we saw these movies over and over again. And Hocus Pocus was one of them. And absolutely loved that movie. Um, but one that I actually started watching yesterday was originally a made-for-TV movie off of the Stephen King book Salem's Lot, which HBO just came out with a new version of. Um, and so I really wanted to rewatch the original, which has the most frightening vampire I've ever seen in a
mm,
movie, was this one. And it was a made-for-TV movie. It wasn't even like, a rated R, you know, or even PG.
yeah.
This was on network TV in the late 70s. Yeah. So doesn't really hold to the book, but it's still a great production with David Soul and um uh oh uh I forgot her name. I think Bonnie Bedelia and a whole cast of people you would recognize. Um yeah, really, really scary flick.
Yeah,
So
I love it. I just love it.
yeah.
It's like a great time. Like I was doing like some like research into like Halloween. And I guess this probably start off like a topic of like the broadcast for this month. It's like getting deep into Halloween and what it means to each and every single one of us. Like for
Mhm.
me, like I had to do a little bit of research. I was like, I really love Halloween. It's one of my favorite holidays of the year. And I'm like, I want to kind of understand where did it originate from. And I was like, oh. So when I researched, they were like, okay, originally is from Ireland, was brought over from some Ireland immigrants that went into Europe. And in Europe, they decided to turn it into, I guess, the All Saints Day like celebration to make it under one umbrella. Before that, it was that they were going around, like, still practicing their own like traditional practices from Ireland, the people that immigrated to Europe. But they, of course, the Europeans were like, no, 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 we're not having that. We're not. So they decided to make it into All Saints Day, and then they decided to make it into like a Christian/Catholic thing. And then from there, they were just like, no, 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 no. See, we brought this over here for reasons. So we're going to continue to do a little something trick or treat with it. So that's where they got the whole like trick or treat thing from like there being like mischief with the kids and the kids going around saying, if you don't give us this candy, we're going to egg your house. If you don't give us this candy, we're going to put all these paper towels over your I was like, wow, this makes total sense. So to market from it in a sense, they said, you know what, to stop all this mischief and these problems and stuff like that, we're gonna pretty much just like, turn this into a little bit of a holiday thing for these kids, just kind of tone down a little bit. And I was like, wow, so that was the 1930s. So that's how I wrote. That's how I wrote. I was like, okay. But it's funny how they try to turn a practice or a tradition into something else, and it just automatically reversed itself and became something so much more back to what was traditionally meant to be, the celebration of like, the passing and the new and the rebirth of things. And it was just interesting to really read. And I was like, wow, this is why I love Halloween. It's just,
Yeah.
adventure.
It's always interesting to see how all that original lore
Yeah,
plays into it, and how this was really like social sanctioned bullying uh, to get what you wanted, which
yeah,
was some kind of treat out of people. Um, I, it's interesting to me how it's evolved into our current, concepts of getting to be, to dress up and do whatever it is that you really want to do. I mean, there's really not a great deal of rules
yeah.
around Halloween. I mean, when I was growing up, I lived in this tiny little neighborhood that there was quite a few kids, but it was such a mix of like retirees plus new families. Um, and so it was no big deal. I mean, we all went around to all the houses, after we were, of course, this was, 70s, late 70s and into the 80s, but parents didn't always go with us. You just went and trick-or-treated for candy. And there was this one house that was rumored to be haunted that like you had to be dared to go up and trick-or-treat at their house. Um, but yeah, it's just interesting. And then growing up, it totally changed meaning, especially, in the gay community. Yeah, I mean, literally, it's always been described to me as gay Christmas. And
Ooh.
everybody just, it makes sense because it was that chance to be who you wanted to be.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Even though I can't hardly remember ever going to a gay bar
Yeah.
on Halloween. I mean, very rarely, especially until I worked in them, did I really go to a gay. Plus, who's going to be able to wear this giant ass costume into a bar that, and when I was going to the bars, they were all crowded. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I certainly wasn't going to get into a fight with some guy that had never worn heels before and a giant hoop skirt trying to push his way through a crowded bar. Probably cigarette and drink in hand.
Oh, it's crazy when you think about it. But it's so true. Like just thinking about that reminds me of like New York. Like since I lived there for like 15 years, it's like every time Halloween came around, it was a time of like excitement, a time of like life, and everybody's just being their own authentic self. And as a life self-love coach and authenticity coach, I was just looking like, wow. Now that I'm thinking about it, thinking back to those times, I'm like, people really were just their authentic selves on Halloween. And honestly, for me, it allowed me to be my authentic self for a little bit. And I was like, there wasn't a time where people can like sit there and judge you on Halloween because it was Halloween. It was a time for you basically, to express you. If you want to dress up as a princess, you dress up as a princess. If you want to dress up as the Amazon, you dress up as my Amazon. If you want to dress up as some scary character from your favorite, cartoon or movie, you do so. It was just a type of like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. And they can't judge me on Halloween because it's Halloween. So it's like if I want to basically give a little sneak peek of like, me being gay or trans or bisexual, why not?
Um, my parents, who they threw a huge Halloween party every year with the whole group of boaters. And that was probably my favorite time of going to parties because it was outdoors.
Mm.
But there was always a band, there was a ton of people. It was a big pig roast, and it was a multi-day affair. But the big costume party was always lots of fun, and this was a very straight crowd, kind of rednecky crowd, to be quite honest. And um, my two favorite years was the first year that I actually went in drag, and I went as the devil in a blue dress
I
and
love
had
it.
so much fun just with any kind of pun that I could do, and went to to one of the local thrift stores and bought the tackiest 70s polyester blue dress I could find. I think I spent $5 on it. I mean, literally spent almost next to nothing on it. And my friend
Oh,
gave me a like a bustier to wear underneath of it
yeah.
and made
Oh,
little breasts in it and had little light up horns and also bought this like purse, a little blue purse to go with it. And
yeah.
down to the point of printing up cards that said, I'll probably get this wrong, but Devil in a Blue Dress, Souls Bought and Sold, call 1-800 oh shit. And wore combat boots and, you know, like literally just went to the party and just had a great time. And invited a bunch of my own friends that were there. And we just had the best time. And people were constantly helping me pull everything back up because, of course, I have no waist. So, there's nothing there to actually hold everything up and couldn't get it
Okay.
tight enough. And even my friend's teenage son was like having a great time moving my boobs back up. Um, and it was just fun. It wasn't because I considered myself, trans or, but it was just fun. It was just a way of expressing myself that was, don't get me wrong. I enjoyed putting on a little makeup and having fun with that. I am a little genderqueer at times. So, um, but that kind of stuff is just fun.
Yeah.
And what made the difference is it sparked everybody else to get into the costume contest. And the more outrageous my friends and I could be, the more it egged everybody else on to just get involved.
Telling you, telling you, like, oh, the spirit of Halloween is just like a really adventurous time. Like, honestly, like, I'm just here thinking about it when you said that. I was like, wow. I remember the times we would go down to the pier. I don't know if anybody else watching this podcast can relate. Like, like how was it for you guys? Like, you can even type that in the comments or on the podcast or wherever. Like, what was it like? How was your experience around Halloween? What does Halloween mean to you? Because honestly, like, it's a joyous time for some people. Like, people look forward to Halloween each year. Like, they're just like planning like months in
Oh,
advance.
yeah.
They're not playing because it's a time where people can just literally sit here and let their walls down. Like,
Hmm.
I love how religion likes to basically make it seem like it's a very devilish time or a very evil time, but yet, hmm, you say that, but if you really look at it deeply, we're not going to go deep into this whole religion thing on this right now. But if you look at it, each and every single holiday seems to relate to a pagan holiday.
Hmm.
From
Interesting how that works out, isn't it?
mhm, from Easter to Halloween to Christmas. So y'all research and look behind each and every single one of those holidays and tell me what y'all find. Okay, let's just stay. So please don't come up here and tell me anything about, oh my gosh, it's a devilish time and this and the third. Because if that's the case, what y'all did was devilish. Okay. But yeah, like I just enjoy like the time and seeing the joy in people's faces that they can just sit here and be themselves and authentically just express them
Hmm.
for Halloween. Like New York, oh my gosh. Down in the Ville, we called it the Ville because it was called the Village. Like a straight back on the pier. Everybody would be out in their costumes, trans, gay, bisexual, queer. Oh my gosh, and then the parade. Don't get me started on the parade. Oh, the parade would go down for streets, like just block after block after block. And it would last, I think it was like until like, what was it, 12? 12 partying, just living life. Like, oh, it's just Halloween is just not a time just to like oh, let me dress up and it's just for kids and be scary and take the kids out trick or treating and the families just have fun. No, it's a time for the gay community and so many others that can relate to be themselves and enjoy and express who they truly want to be and just have fun, regardless of the hate, the judgment, bickering about who we are, what we are. Like, love it. I love it. Just love it.
Do you have plans this year for Halloween?
I sure do. Slightly. I'm really thinking about that. Because I definitely want to dress up and I know I'm gonna dress up, but I'm like also at the same time trying to find a party to go to.
Mm.
Since I've been down to Ohio, I'm like, okay, I have like been very, I guess, introverted, people would call it. But lately, with my new adventure, I've been meeting some new friends, some new people, and the extrovert in me is coming to be a little bit more loud and louder and louder. And I'm like, okay, Halloween, let's do this. One of my friends was like, she's working. I truly apologize. I know that was happening. Somebody is, I guess, fixing something downstairs with the washing machine that we have in the building. Um, excuse us for a second with that. Do you hear it that much? Oh.
I don't hear it a great deal. I heard a little bit at first, but not right now. So I think you're good.
The microphone is kind of like basically toned out, which is good. I love it.
Yeah.
By the way, y'all, if y'all basically want to get into like some good, like, wireless mics and stuff, bam, baby, Amazon, got the brand. I will link it. But the best noise canceling, crisp and clear. I love it. Um, but yeah, like I don't know. Like for me, I definitely want to go to a party. And one of my friends in the adventure that I'm going into right now, she was like, you know what? I work at this little Renaissance and stuff like that. That's going to be for like Halloween. My other friend's like, oh yeah, we should like do something. And then she mentioned she's going to be having a full moon party. I said, count me in. You don't gotta say nothing more. I'm hoping I have to double check, but I'm hoping the full moon's like around Halloween. Because if it is, it's a wrap. I'm gonna be dressing up as Chun-Li and trust and believe I'll be in there with my two little pom poms, just be like, oh my gosh, I just love it. Like if anybody knows me that knows me, I am not just a serious like life coach and Reiki master and a person that's a business person. No, I'm silly, I am nerdy, and I love to watch me some anime and play games once in a while. So yes, Chun-Li is one of my favorite games, which is Street Fighter, and I will die hard be her like main player.
Nice.
Yeah, I was like the her as Halloween this year, and I'm like hoping that we decide to go to like some little party or something, or like just something I want to have. So I'm excited. What about you, Mark? What do you got going on for Halloween?
We haven't done Halloween in several years. We haven't really lived in areas where there was a lot of stuff going on. And like where we live in Central Florida right now, which is on the coast, but we live in a mostly industrial area. We're in a tiny little neighborhood. It's funny enough called Sleepy Hollow. Um,
Love it. Sam.
but there's not many kids. We don't get a lot of trick-or-treaters. And I'm not, we're not close to anything of any parties that are going on. I mean, in our area, there's one gay bar.
Yeah.
Um, and we've actually never been to it. Um, we're a little bit different. Now, my husband did for a lot longer than I did, but we both worked in the bars. And
Oh.
so we got a little burnt out on the big crowd stuff because we always had to be in it and be a part of it. And that can get really taxing and tiring. And it really, like I said, just burned us out on doing a lot of those things for a while. Um, we haven't been yet. We're Disney geeks. So we do live close enough that, and we're annual pass holders. Like we get excited about Disney. even though we're now in our third, we just did our third renewal
Uh-huh.
on our annual passes. We go at a minimum once a month. We still don't get tired of going. And
Oh,
there's every year they do the not so scary Halloween party, and we haven't made it to that yet because it's kind of expensive.
come
So I'm hoping maybe next year we'll get to do that because they started in August, and we'd have to go at the beginning when it's still cheaper and more possible to actually get tickets to it. When it gets later, the prices go up, and I just won't spend that kind of money because we can both be a little cheap at times. But we're also planning on moving in closer to town, more closer to Orlando next year. So hopefully we'll get to maybe venture out into some parties again, or at least in some place where it would be fun, to dress up or do something. So
Mhm.
unfortunately, all of our Halloween stuff is going to be um, movies, and we just started the series Wednesday.
Yeah.
That's on Netflix, and I think they're coming out with a new season. We don't usually have Netflix; we only get it when Great British Bake Off's on. So we're so old gay right now. I mean, it's just bad. Um,
It's so cute.
yeah, we both work from home, so we're always here. We're here at Disney or on a cruise ship, so it's pretty much everywhere we go.
Mm.
But yeah, so we're just going to be at home, just enjoying Halloween. Plus, we're going to be gone we have a trip coming up next week, and then we have another one in November. So we're playing close on budgets. So
It's totally understandable because, honey, Disney is no joke. Like, we weren't able to go to Disney, me and my family, when I was younger. I think I was like, what, like 15, going on probably 16 at the time. And I was in my like career phase slash trying to still hide my true identity at that time from my stepfather, who was a very macho man.
mm,
Um, so we decided to go to Universal Studio. And I was like, this is the best. I just remember having fun. Like I loved it. Like I definitely have to go back to like something at Universal Studios or Disney World. And I'm thinking like, hey, if you guys are going to Disney World next year, I mean, count me. And I'll be like, schedule me around my vacation because I will be taking a trip around August.
well, we're gonna have to get you down here for Halloween at Universal when they do Halloween Horror Nights. Um, my husband is not a horror fan, and there's a lot of them that I love. Like the other major one, it's not really related to Halloween, but it's horror, is Hill House, the Netflix series. Um,
I
it's
think,
amazing. And I don't know if they still do, but they had one last year for Hill House,
uh,
and just would love to go. I can't ever get him to go because he doesn't really like haunted houses and stuff like that. And I just want to go and soak it in because it's just nothing but scary stuff.
I love
And
it.
yeah, go and have fun.
Just I'm being there like, oh my God, what was that? I'm down. Count me in.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
yeah, me and Mark will be back. We're gonna go pick this out. We're gonna put
yeah,
this.
yeah. Um, I've known several people that go and they're like, "Oh, it's so much fun. It's crowded, but it's fun."
Yeah.
So, uh, yeah, would just love to go. I'd like to do both of those parties. But all the parks around here do something for Halloween. And honestly, Disney's just fun to see all the decorations up. Um, but I mean, they have performances. They do, stuff from Hocus Pocus and all of that. And they have the Sanderson sisters come in, and it looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, they better be making it good. I always forget. I'm not great with names. I'm gonna tell you this now. Me and names. Mm-mm. It's taken me a while. I've watched the movie all probably about like 10 times so far. Ask me if I remember the Sanderson sisters' names.
I don't remember their first names. I get the Sanderson sisters. Like, other than the cat's name, I can't even remember the
Yeah.
characters' names.
Okay. But like, yeah, nah. But the one that, she's a Dunson sister and she has a little, I call it the cone on the head and she has the mouth like dude.
Hmm.
And
Played
you
by
know,
Kathy Najimy. Yeah.
if that isn't what do you call it now? I would say probably imitator or a person that's like kind of imitating her in a way. If
Hmm.
basically,
Impersonating.
yes, that's what's like was not coming to my mind. But you got me, Mark. If you don't pull her off 100% down to the T, I ain't watching you no more. Yo, when I tell you she cracks me up, that's one sister in that whole entire group. Bruh, she makes me laugh. When she got the vacuum cleaner out from the closet to basically go and chase after for the book with the sisters, I was rolling. She said,
Well, and they grabbed her by the cord. Um, After it first came out, I mean, my friend and I walked around just going amok, 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 amok. And I even have a t-shirt that says amok, amok, amok on it. It's just like my husband got me one. He does such a great job of finding those little things like that that I love. So I've got a t-shirt that has, uh, based on the craft,
"Hmm,
it has a picture that says across it, I bind you, Nancy. Um, which you kind of have to be careful where you wear because it doesn't, you have to be around a crowd that's going to get it because otherwise it looks really, really bad. Um,
mhm."
but the people that get it just crack up at it.
I'm telling you, I would literally be that person to be like,
Hmm.
that's boo.
Yeah. When I
That's
see people like that, I'm like, that's the right t-shirt.
baby. Speak
Yeah.
of Halloween. Ah,
Yeah. Gotta have a black cat.
you want to join me? Yes. This is Starlight, y'all. Gotta love her. This is my baby.
Nice.
She's a little skittish at times. So yeah, you got a little spotlight. I love you. I would kiss you, but I have some, gorgeous things going on right now. I can't kiss you. All right. Oh, my
Right.
goodness. But yes, Halloween time. All right. So, what else is like coming up for everyone when it comes to Halloween? What else is coming up when it comes to this authentic time? Because honestly, it's a great time of the year. I'd like to say for Christmas, or as I call it, Yule.
I'll take Halloween over Christmas any day. Uh, After Halloween, holidays are just they're too much. Um, Till New Year's, and I'm okay with New Year's, even though again we don't go out to party anymore. I can't say that I've seen a midnight on New Year's Eve in forever, but yeah, Halloween's a great holiday, but I would love to hear. And that's one thing I'm hoping with this podcast, we're going to get some feedback. What's important to everybody to talk about with Halloween? I mean, there's great experiences like that. First experience with dressing up was really great, but even I noticed that there were people there that didn't really get into it. Like, I had fun handing out those cards. Now, I've probably been, well, probably, I was drinking a lot, quite a bit, and didn't have, an issue with going up and handing them out to people, and handed it to one person who I knew was really religious and kind of really shocked that they were even there. Um, they were related, so I mean, they always had an invite to the party, but I handed it to her and she immediately handed it back and said, "Mine's already spoken for." Like, come on, honey, take a joke. This wasn't a comment on your religion. It wasn't a comment on you. Um, and there were often people that struggled with
Mm-hmm.
how outrageous some of my costumes got. And in that context didn't really bother me. But, I am curious what comes up for people when it comes to Halloween or just any topic that they'd like to hear more discussion on.
Yes. So,
Because we both have our own experiences. So I'd
yeah.
like to hear about others. So,
Yes, I agree. Like, please let us know, tune in, hit us up if you have to. You can hit us up at the Discovery Community, which is our community on Mighty Networks that we both created together.
yes.
Help bring forth a community of love, acceptance, and just a space where you can be free, authentically you. So
Yeah.
come on in, let us know. We'll link in the description and we'll be here to help you with that.
Yeah. And on that, that's part of my really, exciting piece right now is that our new website is live at discoveringself.co. Don't put the M on the end. Um, it has more information on the two communities that we're launching. And also information on the podcast and about us, as well as ways of reaching us. Um, but all of this is very exciting. This has been months in the works, and something Simone and I have been talking about and working on for quite a while. And so just getting the website up, uh, the Rainbow Shift community will be launching in November. Um, my program, the Redefinition program, specifically for partners of transgender people, um, is going to be available November 4th. Um, and we're going to have lots of new stuff coming into those communities. So check it out and let us know, what's really coming up for you all, and that way we can incorporate it in the podcast, but also make sure that it's coming up in the community and consider joining us.
Yes, please. It's a space of discovery, a space of healing, and a space of just expression in the kind of
Mhm.
things we do it. And as Mark just mentioned, we have so many things that's going to be added on to the community. As for me, as a life coach and a Reiki master, I'll be also doing some sound healing classes along with self-love courses coming up pretty soon. And along with that, I'm gonna be here to help you guys guide you through from your transition to whatever you want to go through. It can be from you just trying to discover who you are, and it can be to you basically trying to understand your gender. That's what I am as an authenticity coach. So I'm here to help. So let's come
Yeah.
together, understand each other, and build together as a family and a community. That's what it is for me. Like, we're family. Forget what everybody else gotta say. Once you're inside our doors in our community, we're a family.
Mhm.
All right. All right. Yeah.
Well,
Go ahead, Mark. Sorry.
Well, the only thing I wanted to add, there's a reason why we're doing communities. And one of the things that I've noticed over the last few years, because my husband and I have been in several different communities. Um, we were on the Oregon coast for over 4 years, and although they were small towns, there was a struggle with developing community, especially a gay community that's open and welcoming. And now we live in an area that's very conservative, um, that struggles to bring people together,
Mm.
um, just from a sheer standpoint of having to drive everywhere. Nothing's really close. There's not really a gay community, as we want to help bring people together. And even from a therapy standpoint and a coaching standpoint, that seems to be one of the biggest challenges that we have right now is how do we get people together? Because we learn better together. And this is how we can also grow in a way that makes sense. Um, and we're struggling with that. So we know that other people are struggling with that too. And not everybody's comfortable going into a bar. And our hope long term and our plan is to also bring this down to a local level and to where we
Mhm.
can bring events and in-person things, in-person workshops and classes and different things to help really bring this community together in a new way. So, and maybe next time we can talk a little bit more about that, the experience of going to Pride again in the last couple of weeks, because that was so wonderful to be a part of that crowd again and to work there and get to connect with people. So yeah, so excited about what's coming up. It's just right around the corner.
Oh my
And
God.
so, yeah,
It's the years just like, okay, that's all I say. It's just by
yeah,
the time you know it, it's really gonna be like New Year's, and I'm like, okay.
yeah, it will. All
Literally.
right.
All right, y'all. We love you. Thank you for tuning in. Like we said, check us out on the Discovery website. We also can be located on our individual platforms. You can also find on our website, and you can
Mhm.
still post a little bit better. Just know who we are individually and just build together. Follow us,
Yeah,
and we'll follow you
yeah.
guys.
Thank you for joining us so much.
Yeah.
All righty.